9. May I interest you in a metaphor this evening? May I interest you in a metaphor this evening? It's one of my favorites. A house specialty, if you will. Many people talk about how there are two kinds of people in the world, asserting that you are either an old woman who likes pie or a young lady who prefers cake. They condescendingly ask you if you are a pie granny or a cake gal, and you have no idea what to say because you love both. Or you are diabetic. Or you sigh because you are a lollipop boy and you feel like there is no room for you in a world of pie grannies and cake gals. But I have good news for you. Most of these binary assertions are quite stupid, as binaries often oversimplify a world that is much too complex and interesting to be reduced to pie or cake. So, let me instead regale you with a triptych of sorts. You may take it or leave it as you like. It's helpful to me, but perhaps you prefer a different literary device to metaphor when it comes to understanding the world. Or maybe you use math. Who's to say? But I digress. The 3 types of people: sewer people, pipe people, Paris people. Now, at this point, if you are unfamiliar with the movie Ratatouille, I would suggest you go and watch it. If you have seen it, I suggest you go watch it again. But I would suggest watching Ratatouille in most scenarios, so take that with a grain of salt. And truthfully, I'm not in charge of you, and you should make your own decisions, so actually do whatever you want. Disclaimer. What follows is of my own creation, written almost entirely from memory, and is not an excerpt from the actual screenplay of Ratatouille. Interior, sewer, night. Remy wallows in self-pity in a French sewer. He is alone and is accompanied only by his favorite cookbook, Anyone Can Cook, by the world-renowned Chef Cousteau. He is rather hungry. Enter the apparition of Chef Cousteau in the form of an illustration from the cookbook Remy is reading. Cousteau. Why don't you go up and look around, Remy? Why do you wait and mope? Remy. Well, I just lost my family. All my friends. Probably forever. And you are an illustration. Why am I talking to you? You just lost your family. All your friends. You are lonely. Yeah, well, you're dead. But that is no match for wishful thinking. If you focus on what you've left behind, you will never be able to see what lies ahead. Now go up and look around. There is an internal shift in Remy, after which he ascends the pipes. He dodges obstacles and climbs past a variety of scenes that make up the life of a city and ends up on the roof. The city glitters beautifully before him. The Empire... not the Eiffel Tower in the distance. Remy. Paris? All this time I've been underneath Paris? Remy delightedly takes it all in as the camera pans to reveal that he is right next to Cousteau's restaurant. From here, the story continues on, and it's lovely and inspiring and challenging, just an all-around top-notch film. But the story never happens if Remy decides to stay in the sewers. Deciding to climb the pipes is key. The change of perspective is what unlocks the action and consequently the rest of the story. So, how does all of this tie into my favorite metaphor about life? And what makes someone a sewer, pipe, or Paris person? I'll tell you. Sewer people. Sewer people feel stuck. Like the world has not only dealt them a shitty deck, but that they have no way out of it. They believe that things are just happening to them and that they have no agency to change the nature of their world. They believe that their enjoyment of life is totally dependent on external factors. Life is a shitty sewer that they have had the misfortune to have ended up in. They're hungry for something more, and it never dawns on them that they have the ability to change their minds and assumptions in order to climb the pipes. Pipe people. Pipe people are tricky. They logically know that they could climb the pipes, but are scared of the unknown. Who knows if doing the work of climbing the pipes will lead to something better than a sewer? They might hover around the base of the pipes or climb a bit only to descend again. Some simply don't know where to start. In many ways, pipe people are pre-Paris people. It's often just a phase, but the difference here is that pipe people know there's probably something better up there, but they aren't getting past themselves enough to take the first step. Paris people. Paris people climb the pipes. They are just as miserable in the sewer as sewer and pipe people are, but they realize that they are the only ones who can change their own situation. Shit happens, but they have the agency to do... Oh my god. Shit happens, but they have the agency to decide what to do with that shit. They feel the same loneliness and fear that the others feel, but they overcome these internal obstacles and start climbing anyway. They don't know what's at the top, but they take the leap because they understand that even just the attempt will be worth it. They use the agency they know they have to start climbing. Climbing the pipes doesn't mean that your life will be perfect when you reach Paris. The climb is just the beginning of the story. There will be other challenges and joys, but you have to take the first step. As one of my favorite directing professors once told me, the inciting incident isn't something that happens to the protagonist. It's always a choice the protagonist makes. It's Remy's change of perspective and choice that gets the ball rolling and incites the story. And it's yours too. Don't wallow in the sewer. Or do. But just know that the choice is entirely up to you.
Sometimes I am in there, but sometimes
It's all right.
Yeah.